Hello, everyone. Welcome to COSA 1 Second 8 Week. I'm Professor Almeida, and I will be your instructor for the 8 weeks we are together. Coming up in this video, I will show you everything you need to know so that you can be successful in your first week. Our class runs from April 7th until June 1st. And to be honest, I don't know how long this video is going to run. So if you need to take a break, feel free to use the pause button. We're going to be using a one-stop shop called Canvas. And without further ado, let's take a look and see how all of this works. Again, if you need a break, you have the pause button. This video, by the way, is for both my Monday, Wednesday, 8 a.m. section and my fully online section. If you don't know which is which, check your enrollment in the Viking portal. All right, let's go ahead and take a look here. So I'm at the Long Beach City College website at lbcc.edu. To get started, click or tap on the Viking portal. You can also go to the Canvas LMS, and from there, you're going to log into the Viking portal. You'll need your student ID number and your Viking portal password. Now, if you don't remember your Viking portal password, it's always best to just reset the password. Don't try to guess it. Otherwise, you're going to be locked out of the system, and then you're going to have to contact the Student Technology Help Desk. So again, when in doubt, just reset your password. Otherwise, you'll have to reach out to the Student Technology Help Desk. Once you're in the Viking portal, you should see a big button for Canvas, and this is the Canvas dashboard. Hopefully, you should see our COSA 1 class in your dashboard. Now, if you don't have this card view, you should see this 3-dot menu on the upper right. Make sure you have it set to card view, because if it's set to list view like this, it might be hard to follow along. Okay, so you want to make sure that you set your dashboard to card view, and then here's our COSA 1 class. Again, this video is for both my Monday, Wednesday section and my online section. Check your enrollment in the Viking portal if you're not sure which is which. The best and easiest way to contact me is through the Canvas inbox that you see right here. I do ask that you allow up to 24 to 36 hours for me to respond back, because as you can see here, I teach multiple classes and it does take me some time. Now, if you've never used Canvas before, over here to the left is your account settings. This is where you can also edit your profile and set your notifications. Make sure that you are receiving notifications for this class, as I contact you primarily through announcements in Canvas and also through the Canvas inbox if I need to reach out to you individually or as a group. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at our COSA 1 class. This is what it looks like. And again, I'm Professor Almeida. You can learn more about me by visiting my website at jpalmeida.com. Again, the easiest way to contact me is directly through the Canvas inbox, and I do ask that you allow up to 24 to 36 hours for reply. Now, this video, again, is for my in-person and online COSA 1 sections. I have 2 COSA 1 sections for the second 8 weeks. Make sure you check your Viking portal for your enrollment if you're not sure which class is which. And again, our session runs from April 7th to June 1st. My student office hours are a way for you to connect with me about the class and the material. For spring 2025, I'm available in person on Mondays and Wednesdays from 1:30 to 3:30 in M229. That is the COS Computer Lab, and we'll talk about the COS Computer Lab later in this video. On Thursdays, I'm usually in Canvas course chat from 9 a.m. until noon Pacific time. So if you have questions for me, or if you have concerns, you can drop by in person on Mondays 1:30 to 3:30 in M229, or you can go into the Canvas course chat right here from 9 until noon Pacific time. I'll usually be in the chat. You could also message me privately in the Canvas inbox. And speaking of the chat, feel free to use this to talk amongst yourselves in real time. Now, to get started with this class, we're going to follow these 4 bullet points. Now, for my Monday, Wednesday folks, we're going to do this together on the first day of class. Online folks, it is on you to go through these bullet points. And we're going to start here with the course syllabus. The syllabus is your guide to this class and what to expect. It's very important that you read and refer to this document throughout the 8 weeks that we are together. The syllabus includes my expectations, what to expect, important dates, how to get support, different campus resources, what the decorum is for the class, policies on attendance drops and withdrawal, the different types of assignments you're going to have, due dates and grading, academic integrity, certificate information, so all of that good stuff. And then you get to the last page here with the schedule. This is what we will be doing from week to week. So for the first week, we're going to be looking at Microsoft Windows and Office Essential Skills. Now for my Monday, Wednesday folks, on the first day of class, we're going to get into the syllabus and then Windows 11 on Monday, and then that Wednesday, Office Essential Skills. And then for week 2, where we cover Word chapters 1 and 2, Monday would be chapter 1, Wednesday would be chapter 2, and so forth. So that's going to be the pattern for my Monday, Wednesday folks. Online folks, you just basically go in and you work on the assigned material. You'll also see the due dates here for all of the assignments. What I want you to do is to take the due dates you see here and plug them into your personal calendar. And as a matter of fact, that's the second item in this bulleted list. Now, the due dates are not due dates, right? I hope that makes sense. Your Canvas modules are going to open 2 weeks at a time. So on the first day of class, you're going to have weeks 1 and 2 available to you. And then when week 3 rolls around on Monday, April 21st, weeks 3 and 4 will be open and available to you. So I hope that makes sense. Again, always refer to the schedule, keep track of the due dates, and you'll be fine. And again, Monday, Wednesday, folks, we're going to go over this together in class. So that is the course syllabus. And again, you want to make sure you plug all the due dates from the syllabus into your calendar. The next thing to do is to register with SimNet. Now, I have a SimNet information page here that you can take a look at. I've also included some videos on how to do certain assignments, how to reach out for support with McGraw-Hill. To register with SimNet, you're going to follow this link here to McGraw-Hill SimNet. And once you create an account in SimNet and you connect with our COSA 1 class, again, make sure that you're picking the right COSA 1 class. You want to go to your name in SimNet, and this is your profile. Go into the Products tab, and you'll be presented with 3 options. The easiest way to pay for access to SimNet is to buy directly in SimNet for about $50 plus tax, as you can see here for COSA 1, right? It's about $50 plus tax. You can also go to the LBCC bookstore, purchase an access card, and then plug that code into here. Or if you can't purchase access to SimNet right away, you can sign up for 14 days of courtesy access. That gives you enough time to get through the first 2 weeks. Okay, so again, make sure that you register for SimNet. I strongly suggest that you don't sign up for the 14-day courtesy access until the first day of class on Monday, April 7th. And then finally, I would like for you to check into this discussion forum here. It's a little icebreaker, especially for the online folks. This is a great way to build community because in an asynchronous environment where there's no scheduled class meetings, it might be tough to build community. So this is one way to do it, is to have a little icebreaker here. And with that, how are we doing so far? Again, if you need a break, just because if you want to follow along, you always have that pause button. All right, so now that we have gone through the list of how to get started, let me take you to the weekly modules. So you can click on this modules link here or over on the left side, and this is what the modules page looks like. I want to start with the ways to get support in this class before I go any further. And this is the campus resources page. You can also find this on the second page of the syllabus. And I'll start here with the COS tech support, the COS computer labs. As you can see, one of the labs is in M229. That's where I will be for my in-person office hours on Mondays. And TTC, it's in AA206. Here are the hours, especially if you don't have access to a Windows PC with Microsoft 365. You can drop by in person and visit the labs. Now, you will need Microsoft 365 for this class. You can see that I have a Windows PC virtual machine set up here. Now, if you have the know-how, that's great, but if not, don't worry about it. But you will need a Microsoft Windows PC with Microsoft 365 installed. You can see that I have Word, Excel, PowerPoint. There's Access, but we're not going to need it for this class. To install Microsoft 365 on your home system, you can find the Microsoft 365 button in your Viking portal, or you can go to office.com. You're going to log in with your student ID number at lbcc.edu. It's going to read like an email address. So for example, if your student ID number is 0123456, it's going to be 0123456 at lbcc.edu. Again, it's going to read like an email address, and then your password is your Viking portal password. This is the Microsoft 365 Copilot dashboard. And to install Microsoft 365, you're going to click on this Install and More button on the upper right. You're going to choose Install Microsoft 365 Apps. And then from there, you're going to choose Install Office. You'll see the installer download, launch the installer, and follow the prompts to complete installation. And again, if you don't have access to a Windows PC, or if you need assistance, you can visit the COS Computer Labs in person, and you can also reach out to the Student Technology Help Desk. Speaking of the Student Technology Help Desk, here is their page and the ways to contact them. Here are the operating hours for the Student Tech Help Desk. Now, for my online folks and for my face-to-face folks as well, if you are new to online learning, whether you're taking COSA 1 fully online or in person where we are still going online to work with the materials, be sure to check out the resources here, including this free and ungraded set of self-paced modules called Quest for Online Student Success. Lastly, if you need to get one-on-one tutoring for this class, that is done through the Multidisciplinary Success Center. Be sure to read through this info and to also check the schedule. This schedule does change from time to time. Let me show you what the hours are for COSA 1. This is at LAC, and then if I switch to online here, here's COSA 1 online. So I hope that you take full advantage of these resources during our 8 weeks together. And with that, let's talk about what to expect for your first week. All right, so let's get back to our modules page here. We'll scroll on down, and here's what we're doing for the first week. You'll see that you have 3 assignments here. Start by reading this overview page. And again, my Monday, Wednesday folks, we're going to do this together, but online folks, you're going to start with this overview page. Be sure to read through that. You have 3 assignments: COSA 1 Windows 11 training, Office Essential Skills training, and then finally you have a quiz related to Windows and Office Essential Skills. And as a matter of fact, I do have the Windows 11 training open here. Let me show you how that works. So the goal with the training sims, which also function as your textbook in this class, by the way, the goal of your training sims is to fill this progress meter you see here all the way to 100%. Your training sims are graded on completion. Everyone should be able to earn 100% on these training sims, so you don't want to leave easy points on the table. The training sims do have to be turned in on time, and once the due date passes, the training sim score will freeze. So again, your goal is to get to 100%. Don't leave these easy points on the table. Let me show you how it works. So I'm going to go down the task list here. You'll see which ones I've completed so far. And you know what? We'll go with deleting files and folders. So this is what it looks like. Again, it's basically your textbook. Now, you can read through all of this, but we learn by doing. And you'll see there's 3 different modes here. You have show me, guide me, and let me try. In show me, you just basically sit back and watch the video.
To delete a file or folder, verify the file or folder you want to delete is selected.
Okay, so that is show me. Now let me show you guide me. Here, this is step by step. Click the delete button. Well, let's say I don't know where the delete button is. I can click on show hint and it will highlight it for me. Ah, there's the delete button. And then that's basically it for guide me. Now with let me try, this is where you earn the points and you need to show what you know here. Now, if you already know what you're doing, you could just skip straight to let me try. But if you get stuck, you always have show me and guide me. All right, let's go ahead and complete this task. Delete the SPA newsletter April 2020 copy file and send it to the recycle bin. So here's the file here. Now, you want to be careful with this training sim because even though you may know certain ways to do things, such as using the right-click menu, the training sim might not grade it correctly. Okay, so if you're in doubt, follow the method that's shown to you in show me and guide me. So just to show you here, you can indeed right-click delete, and it does work. Let me go back in and show you what they show you in the sim. So here's the SPA newsletter April 2020 copy file. And by the way, you can click anywhere and mess around in the training sim and make mistakes. You know, you're free to do that. So you can see how I can just randomly click on things. But let's go ahead and complete this. I'll send this to the recycle bin. And you'll see that I have this check mark indicating that I am done with this task. And if I exit out of the training sim, you'll see that my meter is now at 17% complete. By the way, don't check your gradebook in Canvas. Wait until you complete the training sim before checking your gradebook. Otherwise, you're going to think you're failing this assignment. But again, your goal here is to fill this progress meter all the way to 100%. Now, as far as the quiz goes, you only have so many attempts at the quiz. Once you start, you have to complete the quiz in one session. So for the quiz, there's 10 questions. It's open book, open note, open web. You can Google for things. You can have another tab open looking at your training sim. And the quiz questions, they could be multiple choice, true, false, but if it's a simulation based question, it's going to be a lot like let me try, except you can't get hints and you can't just click anywhere you want. You only get so many tries at the question. So I hope that this all makes sense. And again, you get the whole week to do this. Now, going back to our module here, you'll see that your first week assignments are due on April 11th. Your 2 training sims here are a participation requirement. I want to make sure that everyone in the class really wants to be in the class and that you've taken the time to register with SimNet and interact with the material. So again, the 2 training sims are a participation requirement. If you don't turn in both training sims on time, I'm going to assume that you're no longer interested in the class, and unfortunately, you'll be dropped so that I can make room for others who are waitlisted or looking to add the class. Now, with the quiz and later on with projects, I will accept late quizzes with a 10% grade reduction. Again, check the syllabus for details. Now, if you manage to finish your first week, week 2 will already be open and available to you. But again, only 2 weeks will be open at a time. And I'll talk more about week 2 when I record the next announcement video. And with that, welcome aboard to COSA 1. Glad to have you here. And if you have questions, you can always rewatch this video. You can read the syllabus. You could also reach out to me. Again, welcome aboard. Let's have a good 8 weeks, and I will see you starting on Monday, April 7th. Thanks for watching.